Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, May the 18th. Hey, there's a lot going on, and we want to check in with the guys. We talked to Lee Pitts, who's getting ready for the Alabama Bass Trail on Neely Henry. Then, of course, we talked to Tom, Josh, and Gentry. We're going to hear what's going on their lakes. We'll be right back with what the guys have to say. And I wanted to take a minute to thank somebody for everything that they've done, everything that they've been a part in here at Bucks Island. Our producer and our friend, my partner in the marketing department here at Bucks Island, Michael Wildman, has taken some opportunities to move forward in his career and work on some new projects. But Michael, we here at Bucks Island wanted to thank you for everything that you've done to help this place grow and be what it is and help with the productions and just help show the heart of Bucks Island. You're a part of this place that we'll never forget and always appreciate. But for me personally, Michael, never worked with anybody like you, man. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, May the 18th. Hey, we're joined by Lee Pitts, our resident expert here on Weiss Lake and Neely Henry. Hey, you're on Neely Henry. Let's go. Tell me what's going on.
Well, this won't take too long. Neely has been really, really tough this week.
Okay.
And like I said, you're talking about with my knowledge on it, I'm kind of doubting it right now because what I want to happen, that grass bite, we fluctuated that water quite a bit this week, and I think it's got the fish kind of holding out in front of it. I know the spotted bass bite has been pretty good, and of course that's because of the amount of current that we're pulling through here. They're loading up on these long points and these hard gravel points and some of the eddy places, and they're feeding up right now. The largemouth, on the other hand, is kind of in a little limbo right now. When you do get bit, you're going to catch a few in an area, but just not seeing the size that really for tournament fishermen that we need to be seeing on Neely. And I think you'll see this week too in the weights of this, the fish aren't everywhere. Normally this time of year, you can catch fish out off those the ledges, the river channels, and some of the longer points out here, and also catch them in knee-deep water. But it's just not doing it right now, and I don't know what it is. It's just once again the weather. The weather has kind of got these fish where they're turned up. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go to, and it's just whoever lands on the right spot is going to catch them.
Well, thank you for that glorious report that fills us all with hope. But let's go to Weiss Lake. Tell me what's going on up there.
Unfortunately, about the same thing. It's we're catching more fish at Weiss, and but catching a lot of small fish. I think that the way Weiss lays out, we've got some backwater areas that are away from that river enough that we're not getting a lot of the stain that's down here. Our main river, the main Coosa River, still it's chocolate milk still. It's got a lot of stain to it, but at Weiss, you can get back in these pockets, get away from that main river, and find some cleaner water. And that's the key right now. They're really in the early morning. You can get, we're having some shad spawns, so you can get a little bit of a topwater bite, spinnerbait bite, buzzbait bite. But then when it kind of shuts down, they want something slow. Trick worm's still been pretty good. A lot of guys still pitching a Cinco and just kind of letting it lay there and then pick it up. But it's just a lot of males, a lot of smaller fish right now just still hanging around. You can still go and have a good day and catch some fish, but we're just not seeing those big females like that we need to be seeing right now.
Yeah, and I'm sure the shad spawn's not far off, and I'm sure that the brim bite's not far off either. Lee, man, good luck this weekend. We're rooting for you. Go kill that ABT. You've done it a few times. We'll see you soon, brother.
All right, guys. Appreciate it, and I'll talk to you next week.
Hey, we're joined by Josh Aaron, Mr. Tato Designs. Got that big bait going all the time. Josh, what's going on at Logan Martin these days?
Man, the Joker is getting pounded on. And she's starting to show her strain. Spring is here, and it's actually fastly leaving. Seems like we've already passed all of our spring patterns and moving straight on into summer. Man, I don't think these fish quite know where they want to be yet. It seemed like everything was going really good right up till they spawned, and now we're kind of in that funk. We had a little shad spawn going, but a ton of influx of color into the river. seems to kind of petered some of that out, and we don't have the water temps yet to really have them in a full summer deal. And I think we're on the tail end of our shad spawn and everything else, so they're kind of busted up. Um, Morning times are still good. You can still catch some. It gets a little stingier after about 9, 10 o'clock.
Right.
So she starts rearing her head, but you get to watch the spectacle of lake lifers ensue. So I mean, man, right now the biggest thing is just kind of open mind and just you got to cover a bunch of ground. It seems like these fish are wanting to kind of get on some of these, like what I would call post spawn docks, ones that are like kind of right inside the mouths of these pockets where these fish are staging in and out.
Yep.
And I think they use the same docks on the way out as they do on the way in. But man, like I said, it's not a great time, but it's still a good time.
All right, let's turn our attention to Lay Lake. What's going on down there?
I haven't got to spend near as much time at Lake, but it's generally sets up about the same. I think it took 16 pounds there last weekend, which for the springtime in Alabama, that's pretty terrible.
It's not good.
But no. But like I said, the largemouth right now are pretty beat up. Spotted bass are starting trying to put a little bit of weight back on them. So we're probably fixing to get into that 3 to 4 week window where spots are going to be your primary deal as far as tournament goes for your bulkier weight, and you just kind of run around and chase that one largemouth. I'm sure that we're fixing to have a bunch of guys out there wandering around chasing them, looking at them forward facing for these post spawn fish that are starting to get on these big pods of bait.
Yeah.
So I mean, for the normal guy, man, it's kind of the same deal we were talking about before the spawn. Just look for these big transition areas. I mean, that's your most high percentage area right now is the same places you were catching them going in are generally where you'll catch them coming back out also. So right around the mouths, these creek pockets, stuff like that, current breaks, especially when this water cleans up a little bit. Current this time of year is always your friend.
Josh, as always, brother, we appreciate everything, and we will talk to you again next week, my friend.
See you, man.
Hey, we're joined by our little spicy gordita. Gentry Gordy's down there in that southern part of lower Alabama for us. Gentry, what's going on let's start at Jordan Lake today.
Jordan, it's, we got some pretty stained water. And it's just a weird time of year. You got most of your fish are moving out. So what I've concentrated on is some of your main lake grass closer to your deeper water. 2 or 3 docks going into these pockets. It's got a little more water around them. I think catching them on the way out, it's been best, shaky heads and Cincos and jigs around that. There's 1 or 2, well, I say 1 or 2. There's a handful of creeks up there that's got some clean water that's running into the back of them. There's you can catch a fish or 2 back there. I always check it because, you're liable to be a bigger fish, especially if you're in a tournament. But just running the bang in the back of the pocket shallow, it's gotten tough. Usually we do that for a big bite, but I think they're pushing out. First thing in the morning, you may can find a shad spawn, but it's not everywhere. You just got to luck up, get on a seawall with a spinnerbait or something if you see them. But yeah, I'm sticking to the little bit deeper water right now, Dano. Of course, the river and the canals, that plays. But to get that big bite, I think you've got to look at your docks at the mouth of the pockets and your grass that's right there, your flipping baits and stuff like that.
Are you seeing crappie fishermen out there yet, or bluegill fishermen, or is there anything else going on?
Yeah. So I talked to a friend of mine up there that lives up there, and he does a lot of crappie and brim fishing. He said the brim are bedding. He said there's still some good crappie that's up in the 5-foot range, but most of your post spawns have pushed off into the mouths of the pockets. They're just scattered. He said, but in the 10 to 15-foot range is where he's finding the better crappie.
All right, give me 30 seconds on Lake Martin. Tell me what's going on there.
We don't even need 30 seconds on Lake Martin right now, Dano. It's a different animal. The boat traffic up there just makes it almost unfishable this time of year. There's nothing shallow. I mean, you pick up 1 or 2 here and there, but you really got to go up there early. throw a spook and a jerkbait around your deep seawalls, and then hurry and push off to that 10 to 20 foot range with a shaky hand to Carolina rig. It's just they've already in that funk, and it's tough up there, Mark.
Brother, have a great weekend. We will talk to you again soon. Thank you.
All right, guys, appreciate it.
Hey, we got Tom Ott with us, who's spending some time on the water these days. Got a little reprieve from work. Tom, let's talk about Lake Guntersville, see what's going on over there.
I tell you what, Dano, Guntersville right now is just on fire. I mean, it's just, it seemed like from Saturday to Sunday it changed, and then it just kept getting better all week. But you can do just about anything you want on Guntersville right now. I mean, you can throw a drop shot, you can go fish, deep points. You can find a few fish on the ledges. They haven't really got out there huge schools. I think that that big push of water we had coming through, the mud, kind of messed up some of that deeper ledge bite stuff, but I'm sure it's coming back. But what's really on fire are those is the grass edges, things like the square bill bite, chatterbait bite, just about any kind of plastic. But I mean, with something moving, you can really cover some water. And I'm telling you, it's just, you can go out there and easily catch 20 to 50 fish if you get on them, if you get on the right spot. But just look for, little hard areas or creeks that are cutting through flats where you've got some grass edges. Those have been money right now.
What kind of water temperatures are you seeing there? Is it something that you can base your day on, or you just got to look?
I think it, like we were talking last week, we thought probably the best way to win a tournament was to find some fish shallow and find some fish deep. And right now, I don't know that the water temperature really is playing that big a part in it. I haven't seen much of a shad spawn, but I know it's there. It's just really sporadic across the flats. And again, with the mud, made it really difficult. But, as far as water temperature, we're seeing mid-70s right now. Even up into upper 70s, late in the days, in your shallower bays and stuff like that. But I don't know how much that's really playing a part as far as making the fish migrate. I think that the brim moving in, things like that are really they're all food related right now and not so much temperature and comfort.
Yeah, I was going to ask that next. The brim are starting to move in, and are you seeing striper out there right now? Are you seeing anything going on that way?
I haven't, there's a ton of white bass and things like that are around. So any creek, you're going to see a bunch of them. And I know some people would eat those and whatnot, but, for me, they're just kind of a pain. But, yeah, we catch a bunch of them right now, especially in those, when you find those deeper creeks, right in the mouth of those, and anywhere you got a nice real little bend, they're just loaded up in there. Like, it's crazy.
Tom, as always, brother, we appreciate everything. Go put a hook in them. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, Dano, y'all be good. Tight lines. We'll talk to you next week.
Well, that'll wrap up our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, May the 18th. Thanks to all of you for tuning in and checking out what we're doing over here every week. We thank you for that. Most importantly, you are the best part of Bucks Island. We appreciate you, and we are here, whether it's the parts, the service, the sales, or the tackle. Guess what? We're here to help you. Come see us at Bucks Island, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday, 8 to 2. Thanks for spending the time with us, and we'll talk to you again next week.